Hey guys, long time no see. It's been a minute since I've done a tutorial, but it took me a long time to figure out what I was wanting to do with this one. I figured I would share my results in my long periods of travel. What you can see here is my Ninja Turtles that I've been working on. Actually, just been working on one, and I wanted to create an easy method to change the colors because I'm kind of basing them off the original action figure line back in 1989, 88 somewhere. I was a young child, and all of the turtles themselves looked the same. They just had different color skin and different color masks, and of course different weapons. But as far as their size goes and their shape, they're all pretty much exactly the same, especially in the cartoon from 1989. Then in the movies and such, they had little subtle differences, especially in the Michael Bay movies, quite a bit differences. Anyways, so I wanted an easy way to just have one main turtle that I could duplicate in and say, I want this one to be Leonardo, I want this to be Raphael, so on and so forth. Obviously, this is Donatello and this is Raphael. So, for the different variations in skin color, I was playing with a couple of different ways to do that. Sorry, I know when I watch videos, I like to get to the meat and potatoes of the tutorial, but I'd like to give a little bit of background of how I went about doing this. Now, there's some of these special things down here called custom properties. Now, I've never messed with those before, and I started playing with it. And basically, what you can do with these is create drivers. Like I can use drivers all the time for facial expressions. For example, let me turn my turtle rig on here. You can see here in Donatello's face. On his facial expressions, we go to the shape keys. Where's it at? There it is. I've got a few different shape keys, and you see they've all got purple on them, which is appropriate for Donatello, but it's purple for anything. Anyways, they've got different numbers here, and those are that means they're being driven. Now you can take one and like for example, the ooh. Let me remove that driver off of ooh so I can just show you. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Right. It looks really weird now because it's the low polygon version, and I don't have the subsurface, the subdivision surface turned on. But in any case, let me undo that. And we'll get back into this. Okay, sorry about that. I had a little bit of a interruption there. No big deal. Okay, talking about the drivers. These purple things are drivers. Now, these drivers are controlled by these different bones, right? And things. Yes, yes, makes it a lot easier to animate. So I need to redo the mask a little bit. It's from when I was still modeling before I gave any facial animations. Anyways, so those are all driven by drivers. Now, something I picked up in my wide range of researching was that these little custom properties can also be used as drivers. Instead of the bones being the drivers, you can just use a slider. So, let's see. I did it on the object properties. The tutorial that I read. Sorry, I didn't bookmark it. I just read it and then went on. It was done in the world properties, and that's okay if you just have one thing that you want to change things on. But like I said, what I was wanting to do is have one turtle that I can turn into any of the other ones. So that being said, I'm going to go ahead and let me save this. Save a copy. And we're going to call this one. I've got one to be. Let's go 1C. So save the copy, and I'm still in the main. I'm just going to go ahead and delete this second one, Turtle Rig 001. Go up to object mode, select that, delete it. Delete that, delete that, delete that, and that. So now I've just got the one turtle in here. And he's got his bow staff, blah, blah, blah. There. All right, so anyways. So I want to be able to turn this one turtle into any of the four brothers. Okay, so right now he's obviously Donatello. So what I had done here is I set the materials. Let me go to the shader editor, already there, and click on him, and there we have the extensive material setup that I used for the skin and the specular map and the bump map, the normal map, so on and so forth. But then the main differences are right up here, and you can see these are different colors that I use a color mix. Let me drop that down. I set these drivers up over here to control which color I was wanting to blend in with the original texture map, which you can see right down here. So for Donatello, you can see that this driver is set to 1, and this new property here, custom property, is also set to 1. So if I pop that down to 0, boom, we lose the color of the skin and masks. So that's pretty handy. So I want to make him Leonardo. So boom, pretty cool. Turn that off. Make him Michelangelo. Pretty cool. Make him Raphael. Pretty cool. So that's pretty cool if there's only one turtle in the scene. But if we have multiple ones, let me select everything here, except for the background. Make sure I get the belt and everything. Okay. I'm going to go to my top view, Shift D, move that over. Alright, so now I have 2 turtles. And like I said, that works really well if there's only one turtle in the scene. But if I have 2 of them, and I use these, it changes them both. So that's not ideal. It works, obviously, but not how I want it to. So the way I got it to actually change individually is very similar to the driver setup here. But, oh, real quick, by the way, if you want to learn how to do these custom properties, it's pretty easy. It's kind of like adding drivers to the bones to control facial expressions or whatever. You just go to your custom properties, new, and then it adds a new one down here, and you hit the little gear icon. And for this one, I used integer with the default value of 0. And so this is basically turns it into an on-off switch. So 0 is on for one color, and 2 is on for another color. So color 0, which, you know, in computer code, 0 is 1, and 1 is 2, because, you know, the integers start at 0 rather than starting 1. So that means the first integer is the 0, and the second integer is the 1, so on and so forth. So that's basically that. So you would add this property, which is exactly what these are, a 1 or a 0, to tell which color you want. So it starts off, the main 0 for all of them is just the gray and black, kind of a neutral. But if I turn on that one on, and okay, so that's how it works. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of that guy, and it works if you just have one thing in the scene. If you're just doing a solo outing and you just want you want Leo, like, nah, I want to use Raph, so you do that. You just change it there. But if you got multiple turtles in the scene, all that to say this. Let's modify the material a little bit here. So I'm going to control space and get my materials up here. And I'm going to just kind of get rid of these guys. So this is the color changes for the different skin tones. And then down here I also had different grayscales to change the value. So if you just change it to like this dark brown, it just gives it that brown hue. But I want it to be a little darker too, and just using the color, the color mix layer style there, it just changes the hue. It doesn't make it darker. So I wanted to make it a little darker too, because Donatello especially has, if you look at the toys, he has a lot darker of a brownish green rather than, like, for example, Raphael has a much brighter, lighter green. So you want to be able to change the value too. So that's what I had set up here. So I've got the 4 different values and the 4 different colors. So I'm going to do a different method in order to make these all be individual to the particular model rather than across the board. So the way we do that is I'm going to add in a converter color ramp, and I'm going to add the 5 different colors here because I still want the base color to be just a neutral. So I've got 2 on here on this color ramp by default, so I'm just going to hit the plus sign and have 5 different locations. Now this part is, as far as I know, pretty important. they have to be in increments of, or even increments. So I've got technically five different colors. So they're all going to be starting at 0, and then 25%, 50%, 75%, 100%. So that's 5 different integers there. So the first one, I'm going to set that all the way to position 0. Change that color. I'm just going to do the eyedropper to get that light gray there. And then I'm going to come over here to the far right. I'm going to make that kind of a turquoise color. So eyedropper, pick that one. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and grab this one. If you notice, the position, POS, that's position, for the turquoise greenish color is 1.0. That's 100%. So I'm going to grab this one. I'm going to make that one 0.75. Okay, that's 75%. That one's going to be my little bit yellowish brown, which would be for Leonardo. This one would be for, I think this one's for Michelangelo, then Leonardo, and Raphael, and Donatello. Okay, so I've got that one. Go ahead and grab this one. Make that the 0.5 location. Eyedropper that. Pale pea green. And then finally, the first one at 0.25. And let's eyedropper that brown color. Okay, so to make this look a little prettier, you can change the linear to constant. And then you have even blocks of the color. Except for the very last color. But that's okay. Just for visualizations, you can see them. We zoom in, you can really see the colors on the little flags there. Okay, so here's my different colors for here. And you know what? While I'm at it, I'll go ahead and grab the value colors as well. Let's move that down out of the way. Grab this one, Shift D to duplicate. Then I'm going to do the same thing, just eyedropper, pick these colors that I went with down there. And they're all just slightly different than each other. And finally, there. Okay, so I've got my different colors and my different values. So I'm going to drag the color over to where I have the colors selected there for the drivers. Boop, replace that. Do the same thing with the values. To the value right there. Okay, so I can really get rid of these now. I'll just leave them on here just for visualization. So now, the magic. I want to be able to use each one of these color ticks, these color flags, as a main color that goes into the main pipeline to change the overall color and value of the skin tone. The way I do that is, let's zoom out here. Now there's one thing, even though they're all going to have the exact same material, there's something you can do to say only apply to this specific model. And that lies here on the object properties, under the relations, the pass index. So this particular model has a pass index of 0. If I click over here, same thing. This one also has a pass index of 0. So right now, I haven't added anything special to the shader yet, but when I do, I'll be able to click through these up to the fourth one, since our 0 is going to be that neutral gray. And this will change the colors of the skin tone. And I'll also need to do this for the masks as well, but we'll do it for the skin tone for now. Okay, so I'm going to back that back down to 0. And I'm going to add in Shift A. We're going to do an input, object info, right there. Zoom in a little bit. And object index. That's going to be our factor. Plop. Okay, so you can see it working nicely now. As soon as my graphics card catches up. I really need to upgrade my computer. But anyways, so right now we have a pass index of 0 is that nice neutral gray. But if I clicked 1 to 1, oh, it jumped across all those other colors, didn't it? So what we need to do is we need to tell this object index to have more than just 0 and 1. We need to divide it into different percentages. So I'm going to go Shift A, and we're going to go down to Vector, actually converter, and it's going to be a math node. So we're going to bring that in, and right where it says add, I'm going to change that to divide. And I want the divide to go up in here, in between those. I just dragged it and dropped it, automatically placed it in there. And the value is right now at 0.5. I don't want that. I want it to be 5. 5 even. Okay. So assuming I did this correctly the way I remember doing it, we've got a pass index of 0, which should be gray. Bump it up to 1. Okay, and then there and there. So we got all our different colors here. For some reason, 1 and 0 are the same thing. Perhaps, I made the mistake of thinking this was divided into 5. It's not really, because the neutral is at the 0 point. So if we divide this into 4 rather than 5, there we go. Pass index of 1 is the brown color. Index of 2 is the brighter green, then the yellowy green, and then finally the turquoise green there at the end. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. And see, it's doing it individually per object. So I can make this one have a different color. So that's really handy. We're using the exact same shader, the exact same material, turtle skin material. And this one says Donnie, which I'll go ahead and just make that turtle skin material. Rename. Little ketchup. Come on. There we go. All right. So again, back here, let's change it. There. Okay. So real easy way to add some variation in your colors. Now let's go ahead and do the same thing to my values. And as I've already done the hard work, you just got to grab that, drop it down to the factor. And since I already set up the darker colors and such, it's automatically going to be the right ones there. Okay. So, let's do the same thing to the masks. I'm going to grab the colors. I didn't worry about the values of the mask, so I'm just going to select all these, the object info node, the divide node, and the color ramp. Just select those, Control C, and grab one of the masks. And we'll go to the colors, mask and pads. So I don't see anything in here, so if I hit the period button on my numpad, boom, there they all are. And here are the different colors. I did a little bit different, been banging my head against the wall trying to figure out how to do this. You can see all my trial and error here. So I tried doing a group of colors. You don't need to do that. That's unnecessary. So I'm going to jump back out of there. And I'm going to just go ahead and remove all of these. And yeah, that added a little bit of graininess and such to it. So these are the 4 different colors. So I'm going to go ahead and, I'm just going to go ahead and delete them. I'm going to shift, Control V to paste in the color ramps that I had. There we go. And let's leave that first one. Actually, let's make it kind of a dark gray there. And the first color, let's just go along with the colors that they are corresponding to. So this will be Donatello's brown color. So I'm going to make it the nice purplish color. And then the brighter green will be for, excuse me, Raphael, actually. So we're going to go with red, a bit darker. Okay. Then the other color, the yellowish green, will be for Leonardo. Nice blue color, a little bit brighter right there. And then finally the turquoise color will be for Michelangelo. The orange, because I guess when they were doing the different colors, the orange really popped a lot better if the skin was more of a greenish color, or a bluish greenish color. So anyways, we're going to get some orange, make it nice and bright. Maybe not too bright. I like there. Okay, so now if I pop this into color A, boop, we should have purple. And not working there. Let's see if I can. Oh, I see. One thing I'll need to do on my characters is, just like specifying the object info, is because or it's not is because, but it's on the individual model. And since the masks are a separate model, it didn't change anything. Now, if I went to this mask, and I went to the, excuse me, the relations here, change the pass index there. Now you can see it's working correctly. So what if I want to just click it on the body and change it over? It can be done. And we can copy different things. So we've got the main turtle body there. I'm going to right click on my pass index, go down to copy as new driver. Then I'm going to go to the mask and go to the pass index. I'm going to right click and say paste driver. So now when I go back to the body, it automatically changes the mask along with the body because I'm doing it all from this section here. Boom, 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 boom. All right. So this was the duplicate model, so it didn't do that with this one, so I'm going to go ahead and do that with this one. Right click, copy as new driver, go to the mask, paste driver, and then this can be changed like that. Excuse me. Okay, so that's a nice handy way to change multiple color variations amongst duplicates using the same materials. Now, you can take this further. Excuse me. Okay, sorry, I had a dry throat there. Okay, now you can do this with the different colors. I haven't played with this idea, but I'm pretty sure you could probably use that to, if you had the belt set up with like different holsters or whatever, like, well, we have Donatello selected here. His belt, as far as the action figures go, he has a shoulder strap across one shoulder with the little holder for his bow staff on his back. And then Leonardo has two shoulder straps with the holders for his katana swords. And you could add those onto your model and give them different vertex groups and add masks and have, whichever one's visible according to which one you had selected. I haven't got into that, but I'm sure it's possible. Perhaps I'll show you that one once I play with it and figure it out. In any case, now you know how to give a duplicate with the same material a different color. Boom. All right. So, comment below who your favorite Ninja Turtle is. Mine as a child, excuse me, as a child, my favorite was Raphael. But I think that's because my best friend, next door neighbor, liked Michelangelo. And that's the one I actually liked the best because he's so funny. But my neighbor friend was the boss, and he liked Michelangelo. So I wasn't allowed to. So I had to pick the other one. I picked Raphael. As an adult, I like Donatello. He's smart. He's also funny. And he's got a D on his belt, usually. I haven't done that part yet either. But D for David, and I'm also a father of two beautiful children and two beautiful stepchildren now, so D can also stand for Dad. So Donatello, David, or Dad. So that's my new adult favorite. Anyways, so thanks for watching. Hopefully this was valuable information. It took me a long time to figure it out, so hopefully I can cut some of that time off for you guys. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time.